What if I told you that 1,400 years ago, deep in the Central American jungle, a group of mathematician-priests could predict lunar eclipses decades in advance, track Venus cycles with remarkable accuracy, and calculate dates thousands of years into the future, all without telescopes, computers, or even metal tools?
What if I told you their mathematical achievements were so sophisticated that modern archaeologists are still trying to understand how they accomplished such precision? Tonight, you'll become one of these legendary calendar keepers, master of
Maya mathematics, guardian of astronomical knowledge, and keeper of humanity's most complex ancient timekeeping system. But you'll also discover that such knowledge came with responsibilities that could determine the fate of entire civilizations. The morning mist clings to the limestone pyramids of Copan as you wake in your chamber high above the jungle canopy. The year is 638 CE, and you are Itzel Kinich, one of the most skilled astronomers and mathematicians in the Maya world. Your name means rainbow sun face, and you've earned it through 15 years of studying the most sophisticated number system developed in ancient America. Your room faces east, precisely positioned to catch the first rays of Venus when she appears as the morning star. The walls are covered with calculations that represent decades of accumulated observations. Mathematical relationships so complex, they wouldn't be matched by any other civilization for centuries. As consciousness returns, your trained mind automatically begins the daily calculations that define your existence. 28 days since the last new moon, Venus has completed 17 days of her current 584-day cycle. The dry season will last exactly 43 more days based on historical patterns you've meticulously recorded. These aren't guesses. They're mathematical certainties derived from a numerical system based on 20 rather than 10, enhanced by the revolutionary concept of zero, an idea your civilization developed independently, while most of the world still struggled with basic arithmetic. You rise and perform the ritual preparations that ready your mind for the day's computational work. Cold water blessed with copal incense awakens your mathematical consciousness. That focused mental state where numbers become as tangible as the stone beneath your feet. Outside your window, the great plaza of Copan is stirring to life. 40,000 people depend on the calculations you and your fellow calendar keepers perform. When to plant crops, when to hold ceremonies, when kings should make important decisions. All of this flows from mathematical observations that few people can understand, but everyone must trust. Your teacher, Akbal Itzamna, taught you that most people experience only the immediate present, but calendar keepers live simultaneously in past, present, and future, tracking patterns that connect yesterday's eclipse to next decade's Venus conjunction. This mathematical perspective allows you to perceive time as a vast, interconnected system, rather than just a sequence of isolated moments. The responsibility is enormous. Every calculation affects thousands of lives. An error in eclipse prediction could undermine royal authority. A mistake in agricultural timing could lead to famine. A miscalculated ceremonial date could disrupt the spiritual harmony that Maya society depends upon, but the intellectual satisfaction is equally immense. You can predict celestial events that won't occur for generations. You understand mathematical relationships that govern cosmic cycles. You possess knowledge that places you among the most sophisticated thinkers in human history. This morning, like every morning for the past decade, you'll climb to the observatory and take readings that contribute to humanity's most accurate calendar system. The precision you achieve using only naked eye observation and mathematical calculation exceeds what many civilizations accomplish with far more advanced tools. The observatory platform rises 60 feet above the jungle, accessible by stone steps. Positioned according to astronomical alignments perfected over centuries, each step is precisely measured to create a walking meditation that prepares your mind for the mathematical work ahead. Your instruments await at the summit. Devices that appear simple but represent sophisticated applications of geometric and astronomical principles. Stone markers positioned at exact intervals across the platform allow you to determine the solar year's length to within minutes of accuracy, Shadow casting devices track the sun's movement through seasonal cycles, sighting. Tubes aligned with specific stellar positions help you monitor planetary movements. What makes these observations extraordinary is their mathematical foundation. Your predecessors spent generations refining measurements, comparing observations, and developing computational techniques that account for the subtle variations in celestial cycles. The result is astronomical knowledge of unprecedented accuracy, achieved through pure mathematics and careful observation. As dawn light touches the eastern horizon, you begin the daily ritual of measurement and calculation. Venus should appear exactly where your computations predict. When your shadow reaches the designated stone marker, your mathematical model of her complex 584-day cycle allows predictions with remarkable reliability. The prediction proves accurate. Venus appears precisely as calculated, confirming the mathematical relationships you use to model planetary motion. This success represents not luck, but the culmination of centuries of systematic observation and mathematical refinement. Around you, Copan awakens to rhythms that you and your colleagues calculate and announce. Smoke rises from cooking fires, lit at astronomically determined times. Merchants arrange their goods according to calendrical schedules. Priests prepare ceremonies timed to coincide with specific celestial events, descending to your workshop. You spend the morning updating astronomical tables that track Venus through her complex cycle. These calculations require working with numbers in the millions, using mathematical notation that allows computation with quantities larger than most. Contemporary civilizations can even conceptualize. The Maya mathematical system's sophistication lies not just in its use of zero and positional notation, but in its elegant handling of cyclical time. Instead of thinking linearly from past to future, Maya mathematics models time as intersecting cycles of different lengths, days, months, years, and longer periods that create complex but predictable patterns. Your primary tool is the long count calendar, which tracks days elapsed since a mythical creation date over 3,000 years ago. Today's date, 9/9/15/3/8, represents more than 4 million days of elapsed time. This system allows you to calculate dates thousands of years into the past or future with absolute precision. The mathematical elegance is breathtaking. By understanding how different cycles intersect, you can predict when rare astronomical events will recur. Eclipse cycles, Venus patterns, and planetary conjunctions all follow mathematical rules that your calculations can model accurately across centuries. This computational work serves practical purposes beyond intellectual achievement. Maya rulers claim divine authority based on their connection to cosmic forces. When calendar keepers can predict eclipses or planetary events, they demonstrate that the cosmic order remains intact under current leadership. But the mathematics also reveals deeper patterns in natural cycles that govern everything from weather to agriculture to human behavior. By understanding these patterns mathematically, Maya civilization achieves harmony between human activity and natural rhythms that most societies can only approximate. 3 hours into your morning calculations, a messenger arrives from the royal palace. His formal attire and nervous demeanor indicate he carries a direct request from Jassar Chan Kawil, the current divine ruler of Copan. Such communications are rare and always significant. Itzel Kinich, the messenger announces, using the formal address reserved for senior calendar keepers. His Divine Majesty requires your immediate consultation regarding matters of cosmic timing. The phrasing tells you this involves political or military decisions that require astronomical guidance. You gather your calculation materials, jade counting beads, bark paper tables, obsidian styluses, and follow the messenger through Copan's ceremonial complex. The journey takes you past architectural marvels that function as massive computational instruments. The hieroglyphic stairway contains the longest Maya text known to archaeology, recording astronomical calculations and historical dates with mathematical precision. Ball courts oriented to specific celestial alignments allow ceremonial games to maintain cosmic balance through their timing and execution. The royal compound occupies Copan's highest ground, with pyramids and palaces designed to frame significant astronomical events, doorways positioned to highlight equinoxes, windows that frame Venus at crucial points in her cycle, courtyards, aligned with stellar movements. The entire complex serves as a three-dimensional calendar and observatory. Jasao Chan Kawil receives you in his private council chamber, decorated with intricate carvings depicting astronomical events and mathematical concepts. The ruler, bearing the cranial modification and jade ornaments that mark divine kingship, shows the stress of governing a city-state surrounded by ambitious rivals. Itzel Kinich, he begins without ceremony. Our scouts report that Kirigua is mobilizing forces against our southern territories. My war chief advocates immediate preemptive action. But I require astronomical guidance about optimal timing for military campaigns. This is exactly the consultation that makes calendar keeping both prestigious and dangerous. Your mathematical calculations could influence the outcome of battles, the fate of thousands of warriors, and possibly Copan's survival as an independent city-state. You spread your materials on the jade-inlaid table and begin working through the relevant astronomical cycles. According to Maya traditional knowledge, Mars influences warfare, Venus affects royal authority, and various stellar patterns impact different types of human activity. Mars is currently in retrograde motion, generally considered unfavorable for initiating military campaigns. Venus approaches the end of her morning star phase and will soon disappear before emerging as evening star, a transition that Maya tradition associates with periods of uncertainty and change. More significantly, the approaching cartoon ending, completion of a 20-year calendrical cycle, is only 18 months away. Cartoon endings traditionally mark periods of political instability, when established authority faces challenges and new leadership may emerge. However, Jupiter approaches conjunction with Saturn, an event occurring approximately every 20 years that Maya astronomers associate with opportunities for bold royal action, especially when timed to coincide with specific Venus positions. Your calculations take nearly an hour of careful computation. Jaso Chan Kawil waits patiently, understanding that accurate astronomical analysis cannot be rushed. Finally, you present your conclusions. My lord, you say carefully. Current astronomical conditions present both challenges and opportunities. Mars counsels against immediate military action, but Jupiter's approaching conjunction with Saturn suggests that properly timed campaigns could achieve great success. The optimal window will open in approximately 5 months, on 9/9/15/9/4 Khan Tusak, when Venus emerges as evening star while Jupiter and Saturn align in favorable configuration. The king studies your calculations, recognizing the mathematical sophistication behind your recommendations. And if military necessity requires earlier action? This question tests your integrity as a calendar keeper. Political realities don't always align with astronomical timing, and rulers sometimes must act according to immediate pressures rather than cosmic cycles. Acting sooner would violate several important astronomical principles that Maya tradition associates with successful warfare. You reply honestly. Such action might succeed initially, but could create longer-term complications when cosmic forces shift to less favorable configurations. After considering your analysis, Jasaw Chan Kawil makes his decision. We will wait for the timing you recommend. I will inform my war chief that our response must be strategic rather than impulsive. As you gather your materials, the king adds, I trust your calculations are accurate, Itzel Kinich. Copan's future may depend on them. The king's words weigh heavily as you return to your chambers. Copan's future may depend on them. This exemplifies the reality of calendar keeping. Your mathematical work doesn't exist in scholarly isolation, but directly influences the actions of thousands of people and the survival of entire civilizations. Back in your workshop, you spend the afternoon verifying your calculations using multiple computational methods. Venus cycle predictions are cross-referenced with observations recorded over 4 centuries. Jupiter-Saturn conjunction timing is confirmed through both direct observation and mathematical models that project planetary movements far into the future. Every calculation must be flawless. A single computational error could lead Copan's armies into battle under astronomically inauspicious circumstances, potentially resulting in military disaster and the destruction of everything your civilization has achieved. This demand for absolute accuracy has driven Maya mathematics to unprecedented sophistication. Your number system handles calculations involving quantities larger than anything conceived by contemporary civilizations. Your computational techniques include mathematical concepts that won't be rediscovered elsewhere for centuries. The mathematical pressure creates psychological stress that affects every calendar keeper. Unlike court advisors in other cultures who might offer vague counsel that can be interpreted flexibly, Maya astronomers must provide specific dates, precise timing, and mathematical justification for every recommendation. Your afternoon calculations confirm your morning assessment, the astronomical configuration you described to Jasaw. Chankawil does represent optimal timing for military action, assuming Maya traditional associations between celestial events and earthly outcomes prove accurate. This assumption troubles you more than you care to admit. Maya astronomical mathematics achieves remarkable precision in predicting celestial events, but the connection between astronomical phenomena and human affairs remains theoretical. The system has proven reliable through countless historical examples, but it rests ultimately on interpretive frameworks that, despite their mathematical sophistication, cannot be verified with the same certainty as eclipse predictions. Evening brings consultation with the sacred books that preserve calendar keeping's deepest knowledge. These bark paper codices contain mathematical tables and astronomical data accumulated over more than a millennium of systematic observation and calculation. The books are stored in a sealed chamber accessible only to senior calendar keepers who have demonstrated mathematical competence and absolute discretion. The knowledge they contain represents centuries of accumulated wisdom, much of it considered too complex and potentially dangerous for general circulation. One codex particularly draws your attention: the Book of Future Reckonings, containing long count calculations that extend thousands of years into the future. These computations include predictions about the end of the current world age, an event so distant it seems almost mythological, yet is calculated with mathematical precision. According to these calculations, the current world age will end on long count date 13,000, corresponding to a time far in the future that few contemporary minds can even conceive. The mathematical precision of this calculation is absolute. Exactly 1,872,000 days after the mythical creation of the current world, but what this date might actually signify remains unclear. The Codex suggests cosmic transformation rather than simple destruction, a completion of vast cycles followed by new beginnings rather than absolute termination. Still, the approaching world age ending casts philosophical shadows over all calendar-keeping work. If your calculations are accurate, then everything you're working to predict and protect, the wars and conquests, the rise and fall of kings, the daily rhythms of agriculture and ceremony, all exists within larger cycles that will ultimately transform beyond recognition. This knowledge creates psychological tension between immediate practical responsibilities and awareness of vast temporal scales. You must take current political concerns seriously while carrying understanding that all human endeavors exist within cosmic cycles that dwarf individual civilizations. Your contemplation of distant futures is interrupted by Akbal Itzamna, your elderly teacher and the most senior calendar keeper in Copan. Now past 70, Akbal has devoted over 50 years to mastering Maya mathematical astronomy. His presence at this hour means he has important wisdom to share. Itzel Kinich, he says, settling carefully onto a woven mat. I heard about your consultation with His Divine Majesty this afternoon. The timing question you addressed connects to deeper aspects of calendar keeping that few practitioners ever master. Akbal's tone carries the gravity reserved for discussions of advanced concepts available only to the most experienced practitioners. These ideas can only be shared with calendar keepers who have demonstrated both mathematical sophistication and the psychological stability to handle knowledge that challenges conventional understanding. The king's question about military timing, Akbal continues, requires understanding something most people cannot grasp: how mathematical precision in astronomical calculation relates to the unpredictable complexities of human behavior and political events. This distinction represents one of calendar keeping's fundamental challenges. Mathematical astronomy achieves remarkable accuracy in predicting celestial events. Eclipses, planetary positions, seasonal changes occur exactly when calculations indicate they will. But extending mathematical precision to predict human affairs requires interpretive frameworks that, despite their historical reliability, remain fundamentally theoretical. Our astronomical calculations, Iqbal explains, can predict exactly when Venus will appear as morning star or when an eclipse will occur. These predictions are mathematically certain because celestial movements follow consistent mechanical principles. But when we use astronomical events to guide human decisions, we're applying traditional knowledge about cosmic influences that, while historically successful, cannot be verified with the same mathematical certainty. The distinction is crucial for understanding both calendar keeping's power and its limitations. Maya mathematics achieves extraordinary precision within its proper domain, calculating celestial cycles, tracking calendrical relationships, modeling astronomical patterns, but connecting these mathematical achievements to practical guidance about human affairs requires traditional knowledge that operates according to different principles. The wisdom preserved in our tradition, Iqbal continues, suggests that cosmic events do influence earthly affairs, but through subtle relationships that cannot be reduced to simple mathematical formulas. Understanding these relationships requires not just computational skill, but sensitivity to patterns that exist at the intersection of mathematics and what our ancestors called the breath of time. This breath of time concept represents Maya understanding of temporal flow as something more dynamic and alive than mere mechanical sequence. According to traditional knowledge, time itself possesses qualities that influence how events unfold, creating favorable and unfavorable periods that skilled calendar keepers can recognize through careful observation and mathematical analysis. Your calculations for the king, Iqbal says, combined mathematical precision with traditional knowledge about how different astronomical configurations influence the breath of time. This combination, exact computation enhanced by sensitivity to temporal qualities, represents calendar keeping at its highest level. The conversation continues for several hours, during which Iqbal shares advanced techniques for integrating mathematical calculation with intuitive understanding of temporal patterns. These methods, passed down through generations of master calendar keepers, allow practitioners to extend mathematical precision into domains where pure computation alone proves insufficient. The key insight, he concludes, is recognizing that mathematics provides the foundation for calendar keeping, but the highest practitioners develop sensitivity to aspects of temporal reality that cannot be reduced to numbers alone. This sensitivity allows you to apply mathematical knowledge wisely, rather than mechanically. By evening's end, you understand that your role as a calendar keeper involves not just computational expertise but cultivation of what might be called temporal intuition, the ability to sense how mathematical calculations relate to the living flow of time and circumstance. This understanding deepens your appreciation for the consultation you provided earlier. Your recommendation to Jassaw Chan Kawil combined precise astronomical calculation with sensitivity to temporal qualities that suggest certain periods favor bold action while others counsel patience and preparation. The mathematics provided the framework, but your guidance also drew upon traditional knowledge about how cosmic cycles influence the subtle qualities of time itself, knowledge that cannot be calculated but must be developed through years of careful observation and meditation on the relationship between celestial events and earthly affairs. As the months pass following your consultation with King Jassaw Chan Kawil, you observe how your astronomical predictions manifest in daily life. Throughout Kopan, the mathematical precision of calendar keeping proves itself through countless small confirmations, eclipse timings, Venus appearances, seasonal changes that occur exactly when calculations indicate they will, but you also observe how the temporal Qualities that Akbal described influence events in ways that pure mathematics alone cannot predict. The approaching astronomical configuration you identified does seem to create favorable conditions for bold action. Though these influences manifest through subtle changes in political atmosphere and social dynamics rather than obvious cause-effect relationships, your reputation grows as officials throughout Copan request consultations about timing various activities according to astronomical conditions. Merchants want to know optimal dates for trade expeditions. Farmers seek guidance about planting schedules that coordinate with both seasonal cycles and calendrical patterns. Priests require precise timing for ceremonies that maintain cosmic harmony. Each consultation requires combining mathematical calculation with understanding of how cosmic cycles influence different types of human activity. Agricultural timing depends primarily on seasonal patterns that can be calculated precisely, but optimal dates also consider lunar cycles, Venus positions, and longer-term calendrical relationships that affect the overall success of farming activities. Trade. Expedition timing involves more complex considerations, including not just favorable travel conditions but astronomical configurations that Maya tradition associates with successful commerce, diplomatic relations, and safe passage through territories. Controlled by potentially hostile neighbors, ceremonial timing proves most complex of all, requiring integration of multiple astronomical cycles to create optimal conditions for maintaining the spiritual balance that Maya society depends upon. Religious ceremonies serve not just social functions, but cosmic purposes, helping to align human community with natural cycles through precisely timed ritual activities. Your daily routine evolves to accommodate these expanding responsibilities. Morning observations focus on tracking current astronomical conditions and updating mathematical models that predict future celestial events. Afternoon work involves calculations for specific consultation requests, applying astronomical data to practical questions about optimal timing for various activities. Evening studies concentrate on deepening your understanding of traditional knowledge about cosmic influences and temporal qualities. The bark paper codices contain not just mathematical tables but theoretical frameworks for understanding how celestial cycles relate to earthly affairs through principles that extend beyond mechanical cause-effect relationships. The most challenging aspect of this work involves maintaining mathematical precision while remaining sensitive to temporal qualities that cannot be quantified. Your calculations must be exact, but their application requires understanding of subtle influences that affect the success or failure of human endeavors in ways that pure computation cannot predict. As the 5-month period you specified approaches, political tensions in the region continue escalating. Quirigua's military preparations become increasingly obvious, while other Maya city-states position themselves to take advantage of any conflict between major powers. The astronomical timing you identified begins to seem increasingly relevant as political and military pressures build toward potential confrontation. King Jasor Chankawil requests periodic updates about approaching optimal timing, demonstrating remarkable patience in deferring military action until cosmic conditions favor successful outcomes. His willingness to coordinate political strategy with astronomical guidance reflects the deep integration between calendar-keeping knowledge and Maya political practice. 3 weeks before the date you specified, Venus disappears as morning star, beginning her transition through the underworld before emerging as evening star. This celestial event, perfectly predicted by your calculations, occurs amid increasing reports of military mobilization throughout the region. The mathematical precision of Venus timing provides confidence about your other calculations, but also increases pressure about their practical implications. If your astronomical predictions prove accurate but your guidance about optimal military timing proves incorrect, the consequences could be catastrophic for Copan's future. The date arrives. 9/9/15/9/4/4. Khan Tusak. Venus emerges as evening star exactly as your calculations predicted. While Jupiter and Saturn align in the configuration your mathematical models indicated they would reach on this precise day. The astronomical accuracy of your predictions is confirmed, but the real test involves whether cosmic timing translates into successful outcomes for human endeavors. King Jasaw Chankawil launches the military campaign you advised, coordinating troop movements with the celestial events you calculated. Maya warriors advance toward Quirigua's territories under cosmic conditions that represent optimal timing, according to traditional knowledge preserved through centuries of calendar-keeping wisdom. Initial reports confirm the success of your astronomical guidance. The campaign proceeds according to plan, with Maya forces achieving tactical advantages that suggest favorable cosmic influences. Enemy resistance proves lighter than expected, suggesting that Quirigua's forces are indeed operating under less favorable astronomical conditions. But you also observe complications that your mathematical calculations could not predict. Weather patterns, disease outbreaks among the warriors, unexpected political developments in neighboring city-states. These factors influence military outcomes in ways that astronomical timing alone cannot control or predict. The campaign succeeds militarily, confirming the wisdom of waiting for optimal cosmic timing. Maya forces secure strategic objectives with fewer casualties than pessimistic scenarios had suggested possible. King Jasaw Chankawil's decision to coordinate military action with your astronomical guidance proves successful, enhancing both his political authority and your reputation as a calendar keeper. However, the victory also creates diplomatic complications that your timing calculations did not anticipate. Success in warfare against Quirigua alarms other Maya city-states, who begin forming defensive alliances to prevent Copan from achieving regional hegemony. The military triumph creates new political challenges that require additional astronomical guidance. 6 months after the successful campaign, King Jasaw Chankawil requests another consultation about optimal timing for diplomatic initiatives designed to prevent the hostile alliances your military success inadvertently encouraged. The political situation demonstrates how even successful astronomical guidance creates new circumstances requiring continued calendar-keeping expertise. Itzel Kinich, the king says during this follow-up consultation, your astronomical guidance proved invaluable for our military success. Now I need similar wisdom about diplomatic timing. How can we use cosmic cycles to transform former enemies into allies while preventing our recent victory from creating new threats to Copan's security? The question illustrates how calendar-keeping success creates ongoing responsibilities rather than simple completion of advisory tasks. Each successful consultation leads to new situations requiring additional astronomical guidance, creating continuing relationships between calendar keepers and the political leaders they advise. Your response draws upon mathematical analysis of current astronomical conditions, combined with traditional knowledge about cosmic influences on diplomatic activities. Venus's position as evening star suggests favorable conditions for negotiations, involving displays of power and authority, while Jupiter's continued prominence supports initiatives that enhance Copan's prestige and influence. More specifically, approaching lunar eclipses create opportunities for dramatic ceremonial displays that can impress potential allies while demonstrating Copan's connection to cosmic forces. Your calculations indicate optimal timing for diplomatic ceremonies that coordinate terrestrial political objectives with celestial events that enhance their psychological and spiritual impact. The consultation proves successful, leading to diplomatic initiatives that transform potential military threats into political opportunities. Former enemies become allies, regional tensions decrease, and Copan's influence expands through peaceful means that prove more sustainable than military conquest alone. These successes enhance your reputation throughout the Maya world, leading to consultation requests from calendar keepers in other city-states who seek to understand the mathematical and traditional techniques that produce such remarkable results. Your success in providing accurate astronomical guidance creates responsibilities that extend beyond serving Copan's immediate needs. Knowledge that proves so valuable must be preserved and transmitted to future generations who will face their own challenges requiring calendar-keeping wisdom. The traditional methods for preserving such knowledge involve training successors who can master both the mathematical techniques and the traditional understanding necessary for effective calendar keeping practice. This training requires selecting candidates with exceptional intellectual abilities and the psychological stability to handle knowledge that carries enormous responsibilities. Your first advanced student is a young mathematician named Itzel Kinich, whose computational abilities exceed even your own at a comparable age. His mathematical intuition allows him to develop new techniques for astronomical calculation while mastering traditional methods with remarkable speed. The training curriculum you develop combines mathematical education with practical experience. In consultation work, students must achieve computational expertise in Maya number systems, astronomical observation, calendrical calculation, and traditional knowledge about cosmic influences on human affairs. Mathematical training begins with mastering the concepts of zero and positional notation that make Maya computational techniques so sophisticated. Students learn to work with numbers involving millions and billions, quantities that exceed the mathematical capabilities of most contemporary civilizations. Astronomical education involves not just learning to predict celestial events, but understanding the observational techniques and mathematical models that make such predictions possible. Students spend years tracking planetary movements, recording eclipse cycles, and developing personal familiarity with cosmic patterns that govern Maya calendrical systems. Most challenging is transmission of traditional knowledge about temporal qualities and cosmic influences that cannot be reduced to mathematical formulas. This wisdom requires years of careful observation, meditation on the relationship between celestial events and earthly affairs, and gradual development of sensitivity to subtle influences that affect the success or failure of human endeavors. Your teaching methods combine formal instruction with experiential learning that allows students to develop both mathematical expertise and intuitive understanding through direct participation in consultation work. Advanced students accompany you to royal consultations, observe how astronomical calculations are applied to practical guidance, and gradually assume responsibility for increasingly complex advisory tasks. The success of your teaching program attracts attention from calendar keepers throughout the Maya region. Master practitioners from other city-states visit Copan to study your methods, creating opportunities for intellectual exchange that enhances calendar-keeping knowledge throughout Maya civilization. These interactions reveal that different regions have developed variations in calendar-keeping techniques while maintaining common mathematical and astronomical foundations. The exchange of methods and insights accelerates advances in computational techniques, observational precision, and theoretical understanding of cosmic cycles. Your role evolves from serving only Copan's needs to contributing to Maya intellectual development generally. The teaching methods you develop are adopted in other centers. The computational techniques you refine spread throughout the region, and the traditional knowledge you help preserve becomes available to future generations of calendar keepers. Most significantly, your success demonstrates that calendar-keeping knowledge can be transmitted effectively across generations and geographical regions while maintaining both mathematical precision and sensitivity to temporal qualities that make such knowledge practically valuable. The preservation and development of calendar-keeping wisdom becomes your primary legacy, ensuring that future Maya civilization will possess the astronomical and mathematical capabilities necessary for maintaining cosmic harmony and making wise decisions about timing human activities according to celestial cycles. 5 years after your successful consultation about military timing, your reputation extends throughout the Maya world and beyond. Calendar keepers from distant city-states seek your guidance about computational techniques, observational methods, and practical applications of astronomical knowledge to human affairs. Your mathematical innovations, particularly refinements in eclipse prediction and planetary motion calculation, become standard techniques adopted throughout Maya civilization. The precision you achieve in long-term astronomical forecasting exceeds anything previously accomplished, allowing calendar keepers to provide guidance about optimal timing for activities planned years or decades in advance. King Jasar Chankawil's continued success, guided by your astronomical council, enhances Copan's prestige and influence throughout the Maya region. Other rulers request consultations with Copan's calendar keepers, creating opportunities for diplomatic influence that extend calendar-keeping knowledge into new political and geographical contexts. The most significant development involves contact with non-Maya civilizations that recognize the sophistication of your astronomical achievements. Traders and diplomats from distant lands bring reports of your mathematical precision back to their home cultures, creating interest in Maya calendar. Keeping techniques among foreign intellectuals and rulers, these contacts reveal that, while other civilizations have developed their own approaches to astronomy and mathematics, none achieved the precision and sophistication that characterize Maya calendar keeping. Your combination of advanced mathematical concepts with systematic astronomical observation represents a unique intellectual achievement that draws admiration from scholars throughout Mesoamerica. Your workshop becomes an international center for astronomical and mathematical education, attracting students from cultures that lack comparable calendar-keeping traditions. These students return to their homelands with Maya computational techniques and observational methods that enhance their own civilization's intellectual capabilities. The cross-cultural exchange also benefits Maya calendar keeping through exposure to different approaches to understanding cosmic cycles and temporal relationships. Foreign astronomical traditions provide alternative perspectives on celestial phenomena that enrich Maya theoretical understanding while confirming the superiority of Maya mathematical and computational methods. Most significantly, these interactions demonstrate that calendar-keeping knowledge transcends cultural boundaries while maintaining practical relevance for any civilization that recognizes the importance of coordinating human activities with cosmic cycles. Your role expands from serving Maya political and social needs to contributing to human intellectual development generally. The mathematical techniques you've refined, the astronomical knowledge you've preserved, and the consultation methods you've developed provide tools that remain valuable regardless of particular cultural contexts. This broader influence creates new responsibilities for ensuring that calendar-keeping knowledge remains available to future generations, even if Maya civilization faces challenges that threaten traditional preservation methods. The wisdom accumulated through centuries of mathematical and astronomical development must be protected against political instability, natural disasters, or cultural changes that could disrupt normal transmission processes. You begin developing preservation methods that transcend any particular cultural institution or geographical location. Mathematical principles are encoded in multiple formats. Astronomical data is distributed among various centers, and traditional knowledge is transmitted through networks that can survive the disruption of individual communities or regions. The global influence of your work demonstrates that intellectual achievements of sufficient sophistication can transcend the particular circumstances of their development to serve universal human needs for understanding cosmic relationships and coordinating activities with natural cycles. 10 years into your career as a master calendar keeper, your mathematical investigations reveal astronomical cycles that operate over much longer time frames than those typically considered in practical consultation work. These discoveries provide perspective on the ultimate significance of Maya civilization and its relationship to cosmic processes that dwarf immediate human concerns. Your calculations reveal that the sophisticated astronomical knowledge preserved through Maya calendar keeping tradition serves purposes that extend far beyond current political and social needs. The mathematical precision and observational techniques developed over centuries prepare Maya civilization for cosmic challenges that will emerge over much longer timescales. Specifically, your analysis of the approaching world age ending on long count date 130000 reveals that this event coincides with astronomical configurations that occur only once every 26,000 years. The precision of this coincidence suggests that Maya calendar-keeping knowledge was developed specifically to prepare for cosmic transitions that operate according to cycles vastly longer than individual human lifetimes. This understanding transforms your perspective on the practical consultation work that occupies most of your daily routine. Advising kings about military timing and helping farmers coordinate planting schedules with lunar cycles serve immediate practical needs, while also preserving and developing intellectual capabilities that will prove essential for navigating cosmic transitions that few people can even conceptualize. The mathematical sophistication required to track cycles spanning thousands of years, the observational precision necessary to predict rare astronomical events, the theoretical frameworks needed to understand cosmic relationships, all of these intellectual achievements serve both current practical applications and preparation for future challenges that exceed normal human experience. Your role as a calendar keeper involves participating in intellectual preservation efforts that transcend individual lifetime concerns to serve cosmic purposes operating over geological timescales. Every calculation you perform, every technique you refine, every student you train contributes to humanity's preparation for cosmic transitions that will require unprecedented mathematical and astronomical sophistication. This longer perspective provides meaning for the psychological challenges that advanced calendar keeping creates. The mental discipline required to track multiple cosmic cycles simultaneously. The emotional stability needed to carry knowledge about vast temporal scales. The social responsibility of providing guidance that affects thousands of lives. These demands prepare consciousness for participation in cosmic processes that operate according to principles beyond normal human comprehension. Your advanced students begin developing capabilities that exceed your own achievements, creating mathematical and observational techniques that push Maya intellectual accomplishments toward their theoretical limits. Their innovations suggest that calendar-keeping knowledge continues evolving toward levels of sophistication that will prove essential for navigating the cosmic transitions their calculations reveal. The teaching work that initially focused on preserving traditional knowledge expands toward developing new intellectual capabilities that transcend anything previously achieved. Students master not just existing techniques, but create innovations that prepare Maya civilization for challenges that exist beyond current experience. These developments suggest that Maya calendar keeping tradition serves evolutionary purposes that extend beyond preserving astronomical knowledge to advancing human intellectual capabilities toward levels that will prove necessary for conscious participation in cosmic processes operating over vastly extended timescales. Your work as a master calendar keeper represents participation in intellectual evolution that serves both immediate practical needs and ultimate cosmic purposes. The mathematical precision you achieve, the students you train, and the knowledge you preserve contribute to humanity's preparation for conscious engagement with cosmic cycles that govern universal development over periods measured in millennia rather than years. 15 years after beginning your advanced calendar-keeping career, you achieve recognition as one of the most accomplished astronomical mathematicians in Maya history. Your computational innovations, theoretical insights, and practical successes establish new standards for calendar-keeping excellence that influence practice throughout Maya civilization. Your mathematical techniques for long-range astronomical prediction prove accurate over timeframes that exceed any previous achievements. Eclipse calculations, planetary motion models, and calendrical projections maintain precision across centuries, demonstrating mastery of cosmic cycles that represent the highest development of Maya intellectual tradition. King Jasar Chan Kawil, now approaching the end of his reign, credits your astronomical guidance with many of his political and military successes. Copan's prosperity and regional influence reflect wise decision-making coordinated with cosmic cycles according to calendar-keeping principles you helped refine and apply. Your students have established calendar-keeping programs throughout the Maya world, spreading computational techniques and observational methods that enhance astronomical capabilities in dozens of cities. The intellectual network you helped create ensures that calendar-keeping knowledge will survive and continue developing regardless of political changes that might affect individual centers. King Jasar Chan Kawil's continued success, guided by your astronomical council, enhances Copan's prestige and influence throughout the Maya region. Other rulers request consultations with Copan's calendar keepers, creating opportunities for diplomatic influence that extend calendar-keeping knowledge into new political and geographical contexts. The most significant development involves contact with non-Maya civilizations that recognize the sophistication of your astronomical achievements. Traders and diplomats from distant lands bring reports of your mathematical precision back to their home cultures, creating interest in Maya calendar keeping techniques among foreign intellectuals and rulers. These contacts revealed that while other civilizations have developed their own approaches to astronomy and mathematics, none achieve the precision and sophistication that characterize Maya calendar keeping. Your combination of advanced mathematical concepts with systematic astronomical observation represents a unique intellectual achievement that draws admiration from scholars throughout Mesoamerica. Your workshop becomes an international center for astronomical and mathematical education, attracting students from cultures that lack comparable calendar-keeping traditions. These students return to their homelands with Maya computational techniques and observational methods that enhance their own civilization's intellectual capabilities. The cross-cultural exchange also benefits Maya calendar keeping through exposure to different approaches to understanding cosmic cycles and temporal relationships. Foreign astronomical traditions provide alternative perspectives on celestial phenomena that enrich Maya theoretical understanding while confirming the superiority of Maya mathematical and computational methods. Most significantly, these interactions demonstrate that calendar-keeping knowledge transcends cultural boundaries while maintaining practical relevance for any civilization that recognizes the importance of coordinating human activities with cosmic cycles.
Your role expands from serving Maya political and social needs to contributing to human intellectual development generally. The mathematical techniques you've refined, the astronomical knowledge you've preserved, and the consultation methods
you've developed provide tools that remain valuable regardless of particular cultural contexts. This broader influence creates new responsibilities for ensuring that calendar-keeping knowledge remains available to future generations, even if Maya civilization faces challenges that threaten traditional preservation methods. The wisdom accumulated through centuries of mathematical and astronomical development must be protected against political instability, natural disasters, or cultural changes that could disrupt normal transmission processes. You begin developing preservation methods that transcend any particular cultural institution or geographical location. Mathematical principles are encoded in multiple formats. Astronomical data is distributed among various centers, and traditional knowledge is transmitted through networks that can survive the disruption of individual communities or regions. The global influence of your work demonstrates that intellectual achievements of sufficient sophistication can transcend the particular circumstances of their development to serve universal human needs for understanding cosmic relationships and coordinating activities with natural cycles. 10 years into your career as a master calendar keeper, your mathematical investigations reveal astronomical cycles that operate over much longer time frames than those typically considered in practical consultation work. These discoveries provide perspective on the ultimate significance of Maya civilization and its relationship to cosmic processes that dwarf immediate human concerns. Your calculations reveal that the sophisticated astronomical knowledge preserved through Maya calendar keeping tradition serves purposes that extend far beyond current political and social needs. The mathematical precision and observational techniques developed over centuries prepare Maya civilization for cosmic challenges that will emerge over much longer timescales. Specifically, your analysis of the approaching world age ending on long, count date 13-0000, reveals that this event coincides with astronomical configurations that occur only once every 26,000 years. The precision of this coincidence suggests that Maya calendar keeping knowledge was developed specifically to prepare for cosmic transitions that operate according to cycles vastly longer than individual human lifetimes. This understanding transforms your perspective on the practical consultation work that occupies most of your daily routine. Advising kings about military timing and helping farmers coordinate planting schedules with lunar cycles serve immediate practical needs while also preserving and developing intellectual capabilities that will prove essential for navigating cosmic transitions that few people can even conceptualize. The mathematical sophistication required to track cycles spanning thousands of years, the observational precision necessary to predict rare astronomical events, the theoretical frameworks needed to understand cosmic relationships, all of these intellectual achievements serve both current practical applications and preparation for future challenges that exceed normal human experience. Your role as a calendar keeper involves participating in intellectual preservation efforts that transcend individual lifetime concerns to serve cosmic purposes operating over geological timescales. Every calculation you perform, every technique you refine, every student you train contributes to humanity's preparation for cosmic transitions that will require unprecedented mathematical and astronomical sophistication. This longer perspective provides meaning for the psychological challenges that advanced calendar keeping creates. The mental discipline required to track multiple cosmic cycles simultaneously. The emotional stability needed to carry knowledge about vast temporal scales. The social responsibility of providing guidance that affects thousands of lives. These demands prepare consciousness for participation in cosmic processes that operate according to principles beyond normal human comprehension. Your advanced students begin developing capabilities that exceed your own achievements, creating mathematical and observational techniques that push Maya intellectual accomplishments toward their theoretical limits. Their innovations suggest that calendar-keeping knowledge continues evolving toward levels of sophistication that will prove essential for navigating the cosmic transitions their calculations reveal. The teaching work that initially focused on preserving traditional knowledge expands toward developing new intellectual capabilities that transcend anything previously achieved. Students master not just existing techniques, but create innovations that prepare Maya civilization for challenges that exist beyond current experience. These developments suggest that Maya calendar keeping tradition serves evolutionary purposes that extend beyond preserving astronomical knowledge to advancing human intellectual capabilities toward levels that will prove necessary for conscious participation in cosmic processes operating over vastly extended timescales. Your work as a master calendar keeper represents participation in intellectual evolution that serves both immediate practical needs and ultimate cosmic purposes. The mathematical precision you achieve, the students you train, and the knowledge you preserve contribute to humanity's preparation for conscious engagement with cosmic cycles that govern universal development over periods measured in millennia rather than years. 15 years after beginning your advanced calendar-keeping career, you achieve recognition as one of the most accomplished astronomical mathematicians in Maya history. Your computational innovations, theoretical insights, and practical successes establish new standards for calendar-keeping excellence that influence practice throughout Maya civilization. Your mathematical techniques for long-range astronomical prediction prove accurate over time frames that exceed any previous achievements. Eclipse calculations, planetary motion models, and calendrical projections maintain precision across centuries, demonstrating mastery of cosmic cycles that represent the highest development of Maya intellectual tradition. King Jasar Chankar-Wheel, now approaching the end of his reign, credits your astronomical guidance with many of his political and military successes. Copan's prosperity and regional influence reflect wise decision-making coordinated with cosmic cycles according to calendar-keeping principles you helped refine and apply. Your students have established calendar-keeping programs throughout the Maya world, spreading computational techniques and observational methods that enhance astronomical capabilities in dozens of cities. The intellectual network you helped create ensures that calendar-keeping knowledge will survive and continue developing regardless of political changes that might affect individual centers. Most significantly, your theoretical work on cosmic cycles and world-age transitions provides Maya civilization with understanding of its ultimate purposes and cosmic significance, the approaching transformation predicted for long count date 13-0000. No longer seems like distant mythology but represents a calculable cosmic transition that Maya intellectual development has been preparing to navigate consciously. Your final major project involves creating a comprehensive record of calendar-keeping knowledge that can preserve essential mathematical, astronomical, and traditional wisdom through whatever changes the world-age transformation might bring. This work combines precise computational tables with theoretical frameworks and practical guidance that will remain relevant regardless of how cosmic conditions might evolve. The preservation effort requires collaboration with master calendar keepers throughout Maya civilization, creating a collective intellectual achievement that represents the culmination of centuries of accumulated wisdom. Mathematical techniques, observational methods, theoretical insights, and practical applications are documented in forms designed to remain comprehensible and useful across vast temporal scales. Your contribution to this preservation project focuses on the integration of mathematical precision with sensitivity to temporal qualities that cannot be quantified but must be understood. For effective calendar-keeping practice, this integration represents your most important intellectual achievement and your greatest gift to future generations. As your active career approaches its conclusion, you understand that your individual accomplishments serve purposes that transcend personal achievement to contribute to cosmic evolution processes that operate over scales of time and space that dwarf human comprehension while remaining accessible to mathematical investigation and practical application. The desperate employment seeker who answered an advertisement for astronomical work 2 decades earlier has become a master of temporal relationships, who understands cosmic cycles spanning millennia and contributes to intellectual achievements that serve universal evolutionary purposes. Your story demonstrates that individual human lives can serve cosmic functions when intellectual development receives appropriate training and guidance, the mathematical precision you achieved, the students you trained, and the knowledge you preserved represent participation in universal evolution processes that operate through individual achievement while transcending personal limitations. The calendar, keeping tradition that provided your foundation for development, continues through the intellectual networks you helped establish, ensuring that Maya astronomical and mathematical wisdom will remain available for future generations who will face cosmic challenges requiring the sophisticated understanding that your career helped develop and preserve. As your remarkable journey through Maya calendar keeping reaches its natural conclusion, you reflect on the profound mathematical relationships that govern not just celestial mechanics, but the very fabric of time and existence itself. The numbers that once seemed like abstract quantities have revealed themselves as fundamental principles that organize cosmic processes across every scale of reality. Your final contemplations focus on the elegant mathematical harmony that connects the smallest details of daily calculation with the vast cosmic cycles that govern world-age transformations. The same mathematical principles that allow precise prediction of tomorrow's Venus position enable understanding of cosmic transitions that occur once every 26,000 years. This mathematical unity suggests that the Maya calendar keeping tradition preserves knowledge about universal principles that remain constant across all scales of temporal and spatial existence. The computational techniques you mastered, the observational methods you refined, and the theoretical frameworks you helped develop represent human participation in cosmic intelligence that operates through mathematical relationships. The long count calendar that tracked your entire career represents just one expression of mathematical principles that govern cosmic evolution across unlimited scales. The precise calculations that seemed so important for immediate practical purposes serve ultimate functions that involve conscious participation in universal development processes. Your students, now master calendar keepers themselves, continue advancing the mathematical and astronomical understanding that your generation helped establish. Their innovations build upon your foundations while exploring territories of cosmic knowledge that extend far beyond your current comprehension, ensuring that calendar-keeping wisdom continues evolving toward increasingly sophisticated understanding of universal principles. King Jasaw Chankawil's successor continues the tradition of coordinating political decisions with astronomical guidance, demonstrating that calendar-keeping knowledge maintains practical relevance while serving cosmic purposes that transcend immediate human concerns. The integration of mathematical precision with political wisdom represents one example of how advanced intellectual development can serve both practical needs and ultimate evolutionary functions. The city of Copan has become a monument to the successful integration of mathematical knowledge with practical application. Its architectural achievements and social organization reflecting harmony between human activity and cosmic cycles that represents the highest development of Maya civilization. Most significantly, your career demonstrates that individual human Achievement can serve universal evolutionary purposes when intellectual development reaches sufficient sophistication to recognize and consciously participate in cosmic processes that operate through mathematical principles. The calendar-keeping tradition provides one example of how human consciousness can achieve such participation while serving practical needs and preserving essential knowledge for future generations. The mathematical relationships you discovered, the computational techniques you developed, and the theoretical insights you achieved represent contributions to universal intelligence that transcend individual lifetime limitations while honoring and enhancing everything that personal development accomplished. Your story concludes where it began, with recognition that time represents the fundamental dimension through which consciousness evolves toward unlimited understanding of cosmic principles that remain constant across all scales of existence. The Maya calendar. Keeping tradition preserves eternal mathematical wisdom that serves both immediate practical needs and ultimate evolutionary purposes. The calculations end, but the mathematics continue forever, carrying consciousness toward unlimited realization of universal principles through individual achievement that serves cosmic evolution while being enhanced by participation in processes that transcend personal limitations. The eternal cycles continue, world without end, through every consciousness that learns to participate consciously in the mathematical harmony that governs universal development. In the final silence, after the last calculation, after the ultimate observation, after the completion of temporal mastery, consciousness rests in eternal mathematical relationships that contain all possibilities for unlimited development, while preserving everything that individual achievement contributes to universal evolution. The work continues. The mathematics endure, and consciousness keeps evolving toward perfect understanding of cosmic principles through participation in eternal calculations that serve universal development. The Maya kept time through mathematics. Mathematics keep consciousness aligned with cosmic harmony. Consciousness keeps evolving through mathematical understanding toward unlimited realization of universal principles that govern eternal development. And the calculations continue, forever and always, in perfect mathematical harmony that connects individual achievement with cosmic evolution through eternal cycles of development that preserve everything while enabling unlimited advancement. The numbers dance on, the cycles turn, and consciousness participates in eternal mathematics that reveal the fundamental harmony governing universal evolution through individual achievement that serves cosmic purposes while being enhanced by participation in mathematical relationships that transcend personal limitations while preserving and celebrating everything that individual development accomplishes.